So today, we are finally trying the DIAMI Baby Boomer Gel collections that I bought from Sweetie Nail Supply with my own money. Definitely not sponsored, just me being weak when I see pretty nail products. In this video, I'm going to review the original Baby Boomer Gel collection, the Oh My Lips and Cliff collections, and also the Vivid Rush collection. So we are going to swatch everything, test how the colors look, see if they blend nicely, and find out which shades are actually worth buying. So grab a coffee, relax, and let's see if these DIAMI Baby Boomer Gels are really worth the hype. Okay, first of all, can we just talk about how pretty these boxes are? The original Baby Boomer collection has this soft pink minimal look. The Oh My Lips and Cliff box looks super classy and dramatic. And then Vivid Rush is giving bright summer sunset energy. Honestly, even before opening them, these already look expensive and professional. I feel like DIAMI always knows how to make nail products look so pretty that you almost do not want to touch them. But of course, we are absolutely going to touch them today. Starting with the original Baby Boomer collection. I love that all the jars have these cute little flower labels on top because it makes everything feel soft, clean, and very DIAMI. And they even included these little different palettes, which honestly is such a nice touch. The shades in this collection look very natural and wearable. You have soft pinks, creamy beige tones, milky whites, and then, suddenly, boom! There is that bright red and black in the middle like they wanted to surprise us. Also, they included 20 mushroom sponges with the collection, which is actually really useful because these kinds of ombre and blurred gradients can be messy without the right tool. I like that DIAMI included everything together, so you can start doing the baby boomer effect right away instead of having to stop and search for sponges later. I also really like that the jars come in this tray because it keeps everything together nicely. You do not have to worry about little pots rolling everywhere in your drawer or getting mixed with other colors. So in this original collection, we have shades 501 all the way to 510. You can already see there is a mix of soft whites, milky pinks, beige tones, and then a few stronger colors like red and black. So let's start with 501 and see what this first shade looks like. Okay, opening 501. This one definitely looks more like a solid gel texture. It is not self-leveling at all, so it stays exactly where you place it instead of moving around. It looks creamy, smooth, and thick without being too runny, which is probably going to make it easier to work with. I'm also going to add this little scraper piece around the jar, and I love this idea. It helps control the gel and scrape off extra product from your brush, so you do not end up using too much. Honestly, I have only really seen DIAMI do this, and it is such a smart little detail. I am going to open the rest of the jars off camera because otherwise we might be here all day opening lids. Okay, now all of the jars are open, and seeing all the colors together like this is actually so satisfying. I feel like this collection is perfect if you love clean girl nails, soft ombre looks, bridal nails, natural syrup nails, or those super blurred baby boomer gradients. These palettes are actually useful for tapping the mushroom sponges into the gel first, so you can control how much product you pick up. That way, you do not overload the sponge and make the gradient look too heavy. You get different shapes like a flower, heart, and little wavy trays, so it feels a lot more fun than using a plain mixing palette. Let's do a little test now. I'm going to take one of the mushroom sponges out and see how it works with the gel. You can hold the mushroom sponge between your fingers if that feels easier, but you can also use it with a picker tool like this, which honestly gives you a little more control and keeps your gloves cleaner. I think both ways work, so it really depends on what feels more comfortable for you. For this little test, I want to try shade 509 because this bright red is really standing out to me. Most of the collection is soft and neutral, so I feel like 509 is going to be really fun for a stronger gradient or a more dramatic look. I picked up the gel with a silicone tool, but I realized really quickly that I took way too much. For Baby Boomer and gradient effects, you actually need the tiniest amount of gel. If you use too much, the sponge can get overloaded and the blend can end up looking heavy instead of soft and blurred. You can see right away that it looks really opaque because I used too much gel. Instead of getting that soft faded gradient, it almost looks like a full solid color. So definitely use less than you think you need because a tiny amount goes a really long way with these gels. But even with too much product, it was still really easy to blend. The sponge picked it up nicely and the gel softened out without too much effort. So I feel like once you find the right amount of product, this would actually be super easy to use. This is actually my first time using this kind of gel, so I think I will definitely need a little more practice. But honestly, for a first try, it was much easier than I expected. I can already tell that once you get used to the amount of product and tapping technique, these gradients would become really quick and easy to do. The gel also goes onto the nail really flawlessly. It does not look patchy or chunky, and it blends into the surface really smoothly. This kind of gel would make gradients and ombre nails so much faster. You do not have to spend forever blending with a brush because the sponge does most of the work for you. It feels a lot quicker and easier for soft salon-style fades. You can also use these gels for line art. Since the texture is thicker and stays where you place it, it actually works really nicely for drawing thin lines and little details. So even though these are made for gradients and baby boomer effects, I feel like you could definitely use them for extra nail art too. I noticed that I could make lines really effortlessly with this gel. It does not spread everywhere or lose its shape, so the line stays clean instead of turning into a wobbly mess. That makes me feel like these would be really nice for outlines, hearts, flowers, abstract designs, or even simple French nail details. These little palettes are reusable. You can just wipe them clean after you finish, and then use them again. Okay, now that I finished testing them a little bit, let's swatch all 10 colors. I really want to see how they look side by side. Okay, here are all 10 colors swatched, and honestly they look really pretty together. One thing I really like is that you can keep layering the gel without curing in between. Now let's move on to the Vivid Rush collection. This one is bright, colorful, and gives summer sunset energy. This collection includes shades 511 all the way to 520. You have greens, yellows, oranges, pinks, purples, blues, and bright reds. Just like the first set, you still get all 10 colors in the tray, 20 mushroom sponges, the little scraper pieces, and the reusable palettes. So, I like that DIAMI kept the same full setup because you still have everything you need for gradients, and ombre nails right out of the box. The jars are also a little different in this collection. They are still the same size as the original Baby Boomer jars, but the lid design is different and more colorful. I actually like that because it makes it really easy to tell the collections apart right away. Okay, let's take a look at shade 511. Oh, wow! Okay, this one is actually a bright red. It is definitely a really strong, vivid red. It looks super bold, juicy, and almost like a candy apple red. I feel like this shade would be amazing for Valentine's nails, cherry nail art, bright ombre nails, summer fruit nails, or even just a really bold red nail. The texture also feels the same as the first collection. It is still very solid and not self-leveling at all. Now that I opened all of them, wow, these colors are bright. You have vivid pinks, bright blues, purples, yellow, orange, green, and that strong red. Honestly, this collection makes me so happy because I love bright colors. I can already imagine rainbow ombre nails, beach nails, sunset gradients, fruity nail art, summer vacation nails, and super colorful abstract designs. There are 2 palettes included in this collection. Okay, let's start swatching now. I'm not using the expensive mushroom sponges. I'm just using these little cube sponges for swatching, and honestly, they work really well too. Okay, here is the final result for all 10 shades. You can really see how bright and fun this collection is. And honestly, shade 512 is really standing out to me. I think I'm actually going to wear that one today. So after I finish all the swatching, you will see me use shade 512 on my own nails too. Okay, now let's move on to the last collection. This one is the Oh My Lips and Cliff collection. Actually, DIAMI has 4 different Baby Boomer collections in total. I bought 3 of them for now, but there is also a 4th collection with pastel and satin shades. And honestly, I already feel like I might end up buying that one later too because, I apparently cannot stop buying nail products. This collection includes shades 531 all the way to 540. Right away, you can see that this set is split into 2 different moods. And yes, you still get 2 palettes, 20 mushroom sponges, and the little scraper pieces. The top row with the blue jars is the Cliff collection. Those shades feel cooler, smokier, and a little moodier. You have muted blues, gray tones, dusty shades, and colors that almost remind me of fog, stone, denim, and cloudy skies. The red jars is the Oh My Lips collection and has warmer reds, beige, pinks, and deeper tones. Okay, let's start opening them, beginning with shade 531. This one is such a pretty warm berry red. It almost looks like a deep lipstick shade, like one of those rich wine reds that make your hands look super elegant. The texture still looks the same as the other collections. It is thick, solid, and stays exactly where you place it. All right, now all of the jars are open. The warm shades on top really do remind me of lipstick colors. You have berry reds, rosy pinks, mauves, and that soft nude shade. Then the cool shades on the bottom look so smoky and moody. There are muted green, dusty blue, muted purple, soft gray, and this brown shade. Okay, let's start swatching these now. Okay, here is the final swatch result for all 10 shades. The warm shades are so soft and elegant. Then the cool shades are giving such a moody vibe. Okay, now it is finally time to wear these on my own nails. I already finished my right hand off camera, and now I'm going to do the left hand. I'm keeping the design pretty simple because honestly the ombre colors already look so pretty by themselves. I'm using 512, that bright coral shade from the Vivid Rush collection, for the tips. I pressed way too hard with the mushroom sponge. You can see that the color went on a little stronger than I wanted. For softer baby boomer gradients, you really want to use a super light tapping motion instead of pressing hard. The lighter you tap, the softer and blurrier the gradient looks. But honestly, I'm still practicing with this technique. To help soften the gradient a little more, I'm going to use shade 503. This one is a really soft, milky pink, so it helps blur the coral color into the nude base. It makes the whole gradient look smoother and less harsh. This step is completely optional though. You definitely don't have to do this if you already like how the gradient looks. But if you want a softer baby boomer effect, adding a soft nude or pink shade on top can make a really big difference. I actually had to stop for a second because I realized I forgot to use a skin barrier around my nails. When you are tapping the sponge, the gel can easily touch the skin around the nail. That is why a skin barrier is really helpful for this technique. It keeps the cuticle area cleaner and protects the skin from getting covered in gel. Gel should not stay on your skin, so definitely be careful with that part before you start blending. Now that the skin barrier is on, I can keep going with the blending. I'm just lightly tapping the sponge over the tip area to build up the color slowly. Doing it in thin layers gives you a much softer and cleaner gradient. It takes a little more time, but the final result looks a lot smoother. For the flower design, I'm using shade 501 White Gel. I want to keep this set simple, so I'm only adding flowers on the index finger and middle finger. That way, the design still looks soft and clean without feeling too busy. The white flowers also stand out really nicely against the coral gradient background. I wanted something simple, soft, and wearable, but still fun enough for spring and summer. Honestly, I'm not really an expert when it comes to drawing flowers. Usually I stay in my safe zone with simpler nail art, but I wanted to try something different for this set. Sometimes leaving your comfort zone is the best way to learn new nail art techniques. For the little dots, I'm using a self-leveling white gel, because I don't want the dots to look too raised or bumpy. Now, I'm removing the skin barrier from around the nails. I don't need it anymore because I am done with the sponge blending. To give the flowers a little more depth, I'm also adding a soft brown tinted gel. I don't want the flowers to look too flat or plain. I'm only adding a tiny amount because I still want the flowers to stay white, light, and delicate. I'm going to add a little glitter gel for the center of the flowers. I feel like this makes the flowers look a lot prettier and gives the design a little sparkle without being too much. For the rest of the nails, I want to add these soft, wavy smile lines with isolated chrome. First, I am applying a matte top coat because chrome powder will not stick to a matte surface. That way, the chrome only sticks to the shiny top coat lines that I draw later. I'm wiping the surface really well just to make sure everything is clean and completely dry. That is really important before adding chrome because if there is any dust, oil, or sticky layer left behind, the chrome can end up sticking where you do not want it. After that, I am drawing the wavy lines with top coat. By the way, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below and I will reply happily. Once those lines are cured, I can rub the chrome over them so only the design stays shiny. You can see here that the chrome is only sticking to the shiny top coat lines and not to the matte background. That is exactly what we want for isolated chrome. But just be aware that not every matte top coat works the same way. Some matte top coats can still grab onto chrome powder a little bit, so it is always a good idea to test your matte top coat first and make sure it is chrome friendly before doing a full set. Now I'm just wiping away the extra chrome dust. It looks so satisfying when only the wavy lines stay shiny and everything else stays matte. Now I'm sealing with a base coat. This step helps protect the chrome and makes it last much longer. If you skip this step, the chrome can start to peel or rub off more easily. After the base coat, you can finish with your final top coat for extra shine and protection. And here is the final look. I will apply cuticle oil and hand cream because my skin was feeling really dry. I hope you like how these turned out. I honestly really love these Baby Boomer gels because they are so easy to use and blend beautifully. They make soft ombre nails look much easier, even if you are not super experienced yet. The colors blend so nicely together, and they save a lot of time compared to trying to build the ombre from scratch. If you have been nervous to try Baby Boomer gels, I definitely think these are worth trying because they are very beginner-friendly. Thank you so much for watching this video and spending time with me today. I always love sharing new nail products, swatches, and nail art ideas with you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up because it really helps support my channel. And if you want to see more swatches, tutorials, reviews, and nail art videos, don't forget to subscribe. I have a lot more fun nail videos coming soon. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.